Is just over 30 big blinds. He's facing a button raise with a small blind 3-bet, and now he has a powerful hand like ace-queen suited with just 30 bigs. I would expect Wynn to push all of his chips in the middle here with all this action coming from late position.
There is that school of thought, of course, that ace-queen doesn't play well against a raise and a re-raise, but crucially it's where that raise and that re-raise has come from at the table.
Exactly that. It could be a button steal in the small blind, knowing the button's opening light, so now you're in the big blind with ace-queen and 30 big blinds. It looks like a good spot to move all in and just pick up the pot.
Tanduc Wynn's biggest result to date is taking down the European Poker Tour event in Baden in Austria in Season 3. Got himself nearly €500,000 for that. He's just called the raise.
He makes an unconventional call here. He's putting in nearly 20% of his chips with a flat call.
So the action comes back to Berenda, who obviously wants a count of Tanduc Wynn's stack.
8, 9, 1 minute.
There's 622,000 chips in the pot already. Berenda's going to be pretty happy to see that Wynn only has 1.1 million behind. There's a lot of money in the pot, and he's going to be able to move all in.
Working out the price.
He must be putting Wynn on some type of mid pair here, like maybe pocket nines to pocket jacks or an ace-queen.
All in. All in. All in.
Well, he's reached the conclusion that it is a good opportunity to shove or even insta-folds.
And now back to Wynn, who doesn't know what to do here. He knows he's invested almost 20% of his stack, but ace-queen suited isn't looking as good now when there's been a raise, a 3-bet. He just overcalled, and now Berenda moves all in over the top over all of that action.
Is he now thinking, whoops, I made a mistake. It was really shove or fold when I was facing the action before.
Well, at this point, he's probably happy he didn't shove. There's a tense vibe at this feature table. No one muttering a word.
And no one really wants to call off their entire stack with ace-queen, right?
Not on the bubble of the final table. Now, Wynn is getting strikingly good odds to make this call, but he knows his hand's going to be dominated a fair amount of the time. I set Berenda up with a good chance to go deep in this EPT San Remo in the 200-400 level, losing a nearly 110,000 chip pot to him with just a nut flush draw versus flop set. I turned the flush, but he rivered the boat.
Was that a bad beat story, William?
No, that was clearly a bad play story, playing 100 big blind pot with just a flush draw.
Poor old Tanduc Wynn looks absolutely tortured. He looks back at his hand. You know what I said about that before?
Scratching his head. Berenda practically begging for a call.
The fold's coming, I'm telling you. He's looked at his cards. I think the fold's coming. Yeah, he lays it down, and we can see that it's a good pass.
And Berenda has to be happy with that outcome. He just won nearly 600,000 in chips, and he didn't even have to see a flop.
So Tanduc Wynn survives with more than $1 million in chips, looking to become the first ever two-time champion on the European Poker Tour. Despite 6 seasons of this tour, no one has ever won 2 main events.
It seems that everywhere you look these days, there's an EPT champion lurking somewhere in the masses. From the most recent winner at Snowfest, Alan Backer, to the many past champs, some of whom you may have forgotten. But they all share the same goal, to become the first ever player to win 2 EPT titles.
To win it once is a big achievement. To win it twice, I would say it's exceptional, and I wouldn't say it's impossible. But if somebody really proves it, He's gonna be a legend.
I think the closest people that have been there, I mean, Mike McDonald has been very, very close.
Elke come close a bunch of times. I think Brandon Schaefer was really close.
Mark Telcher, he came second, and he was previously winning the EPT in London.
Maxim Likov, I think he would be like, yeah, probably very likely one of the few guys who could do it.
Jan Skampa, the last EPT Prague winner.
I got very, very close in Warsaw.
It might sound ridiculous, but before my first win, my goal was to be the first guy to win 2 EPTs.
That would be like the biggest achievement ever to try to snatch his second EPT title.
So yeah, I have been thinking about it.
And every EPT there's one more winner, so it's like getting tougher and tougher.
Who knows, maybe we'll never have a second winner.
Obviously, it would mean like so much to be the first one because there's so many people like that won 1 EPT, but that would be the first and the only one who won 2.
Of course, I will say myself. Yeah, but that would be like impossible.
I put my money on Jason Mercier.
Feeling pretty good.
He's really talented, he's a good player, and he's really hot, and he wants to win again. And I would put my money on Jason then.
Right now, my money's on this guy, the tournament chip leader, Alan Bakker, looking to go back-to-back on the European Poker Tour. I apologise for that joke.
That's something hard to do today with today's large fields.
Pocket jacks for Eric Tam. Still playing 20,000, 40,000 blinds. So he's going to raise to 95,000. And it's ace-king again for Paul Berenda. Only this time it's ace-king suited. And everyone knows, William, that ace-king suited never loses.
Here he is thinking about how many chips to put in. He makes a nice 3-bet to 245,000 in position on the button.
Squeezing the king. But it's a king 10 and it goes in the muck. Reben has folded the small blind. I'm pretty sure that Tanduk Win is going to fold the big blind. Yep. So back to Tam with the jacks.
Now Tam started this hand with 1.8 million in chips. He's out of position. There's already a lot of money in. I think we'll see him re-raise.
Meanwhile, one of his fellow countrymen, Jens Thorsen, William Thorsen's brother, has just been eliminated from one of our outer tables. If he does re-raise, William, it's all in, right?
Yes, it's the only play with 40 big blinds.
And if you were to fold here, would you consider that a bit tight?
I would consider that a pro hero fold. A pro's fold.
Especially because ace-king suited never loses.
Exactly. He's up against one of the best. The best drawing hand in poker, ace-king of diamonds.
Wow, everyone at this table really likes to think long and hard before making a decision. Nothing wrong with that, a lot of money on the line.
Everyone requesting the time button.
He said the word raise.
I was thinking about just what to raise. I want to hear the 2 words.
No, he doesn't move all in. He makes it 480.
I'm all in.
Berenda comes instantly over the top with an all-in. And now Tam slightly confused with that instant all-in.
Question, has Tam committed himself with that 4-bet?
Yes, there's no getting away from this hand. He's put in 480,000 chips out of his 1.8 million, and he has pocket jacks.
Yeah, he's made the call. So the net result is the same, it's just it was Berenda who ended up shoving rather than Tam.
Tam decided to make a little small 4-bet there to let Berenda 5-bet, maybe a lighter hand all in, but then he didn't snap call. He decided to think about it a little more. But so now they're all in, and here we go. We're off to the races.
Although, as we can see, the Jacks are actually a 57% favourite. We talk about this being a coin flip, but I'll take the Jacks every day of the week and twice on Tuesdays. So far, so good. Do we get a sweat on the turn? Yes, we do. Gives Berenda one more out. In fact, one of Tam's 2 Jacks.
Now exactly what Tam doesn't want to see, trips.
Jack and Ace are a king, but it's a 10. The Jacks hold up.
And Paul's going to lose the majority of his chip stack with this race.
What did I say? Ace King suited never wins.
Never wins.
Berenda now with a stack of 248,000. That's just over 6 big blinds. The action resumes here in San Remo in just a couple of minutes' time.
Stars.com.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour, coming to you from sunny San Remo in Italy. It's great to be back. It's a lovely place and the most popular stop on the tour. A record-breaking 1,240 players entered this event from all over the world, giving us an absolutely staggering prize pool of €6 million. It was, as ever, a very tough field. The biggest names in the game came to play, the always entertaining Humberto Brenners, to name just one. And it was former champs galore, including